You're listening to
The Audacity.
No one has made this dramatic of a change yet. No one has made, in my generation, this extreme of a switch. And I am the first in the generation. It is very scary, but we gotta do it.
Okay, next clip.
I got a question. If you could have one heaven phone call, this is a random heaven phone call, okay? Nothing too serious. If it was serious, I'd call grandma, grandpa, uncle I never got to meet, someone like that. Unserious heaven phone call. Who are you calling? Personally, I'm calling the people in the Titanic submarine. The situation, the submersible, that whole thing. I'm calling them. My friend said she would call John Benet Ramsey. I feel like that's a pretty good one. Who are you calling? What are we
It's so random.
Give me your take on this.
Oh my god!
All right, let's all react.
My
Thanks.
first of a generation, the only person in the whole generation.
That is so funny. The first of a generation.
I'm obsessed with her. What is with this generation? Are the generations getting stupider? I'm not saying that we're the smartest generation, but I feel like after us, Gen Z could get away with it because they're like, well, we don't know anything, but we do know how to use TikTok.
Well, I think it's this narcissism, the rise of narcissism. You think you're the star.
Main character syndrome.
Everybody has main character syndrome.
Oh, so this is the post-Gen Z generation where now it's like it's not even like we know TikTok very well. It's like we are TikTok.
We are TikTok.
And we are the first. We're also not the first, but we are the first.
That's right. That's right. So, like, essentially in that clip, she won something? What's that clip about?
She's like at an award show.
She had an
or
award show.
something.
And
So Jojo Siwa was like on Dance Moms, and she was like a star of Dance Moms when she was a kid. But she was this trained dancer, and she then had this spin-off career basically where she was like a kids YouTuber or whatever with the bows in the hair and everything. She was like a good girl, like a Disney kid basically. And now she's rebranding. So she came out as a lesbian. That was like everybody was like, yay. Of course. And then she was like, and my hair's not long anymore. People were like, that's fine. It's just your hair. And then she was like, well, and now I do music.
I was like, oh no, babe, you went too far with that.
And then people were like, excuse me. And then she goes, and also I no more bows. She was like, I'm not wearing bows anymore.
No more bows
in her hair. She was like, I'm done with
All right,
bows.
she's gone too far.
She's been crossing lines.
Literally, JoJo, like take a lane. Okay, do it a little bit at a time. Like don't transition fully. A little bit at a time.
We see where you're going with this.
Yeah, like the bows. Isn't she making like badass music? Like I'm a badass bitch and.
She was saying she's the first person ever to change from wearing bows in her hair to not wearing bows in her hair in public.
Has she heard of Hannah Montana?
Has she?
Like literally, like this is the thing that you're like your generation. Like I think you're getting more. We as a society are getting more and more narcissistic, and as the kids who don't know, like you have your own channel. You could be a TikTok star. Everything's about you. It's your safe space, your health, and
you don't have to know anything about anything else that ever was before you at all. And when people ask you about that, you go, no, it didn't even exist.
It didn't exist.
I'm the first one.
I'm the first one
ever
to do it like this.
Right.
Like
no one's ever removed a bow from her hair, and then worn black eyeliner and banged a chick.
That's true. In the same hour. No, so maybe she is the first to do that. Yeah, that's cool. But it's like, yeah.
This is why you don't let your kids be child stars. Look what it does to them. Look what happened to her. Can we pull up a picture of JoJo before and after? I want to see what the first of her generation looks like.
Did our producer leave?
No, he's here. Did you ever watch her? She's way too young.
I've been hearing about this TikTok JoJo. I don't know what the big. Everyone's like upset. She didn't brand herself right. Everyone's like freaking out because she didn't do the right branding.
Well, she rebranded.
She rebranded
to be,
but like poorly.
Not according to her. According to her, she's her own lesbian dream girl.
Okay, well, I don't understand like I don't remember her being such a star of Dance Moms. I remember Dance Moms being hilarious. Like the mom, the TED teacher was hilarious.
Yeah, but our generation watched Dance Moms just to see what happened, but then there's a whole younger, like really young generation of
Oh,
kids
got
who
it.
cared about the kids.
Oh, I see.
and like
That's
grew up
why.
with them because they were that age.
So the people freaking out on TikTok are the Gen Zers or Gen Z, like maybe Gen Alpha-ish, older, like young Gen Z, older Gen Alpha. Because I kept
there's
saying
old
like,
and then there's new. So she kept the kind of mouth position the same. she keeps
her mouth open.
open. But we do have to understand that she loves munching box. That's what her haircut tells me.
yeah, that's good for you, babe.
And good for you. And why shouldn't that show?
Why
right?
shouldn't that show?
Why
her
shouldn't we
teeth
know
look
that
nice.
about you?
Well,
She bought herself new teeth.
Okay.
She got toothier and she got gayer. I don't. Just
Slay.
like Miley, Slay Queen. But Miley did do it.
She did the most. What do kids say now? Like, what would kids say about like I feel like Gen Zers would be like Slay Queen. What would Gen Alpha say?
Serving
Like,
cunt.
yeah, serving. She's doing the most.
These kids
JoJo's
are
doing the most.
Disrespectful. Yeah, she's a slay cunt queen.
Yeah.
Can we say that in public?
Scene. What else do people say? What's at their lexicon on the internet that's like it's giving. It's like giving like
Right.
It's giving like queen. It's giving like I don't know. Okay.
It's giving diverse. It's giving white but diverse.
Yeah. It's giving rebrand.
It's giving rebrand.
It's giving glow up.
It's giving some kind of change.
But glow up is like a Gen Z term.
I think
Glow.
it's a lateral glow.
It's a lateral glow. Okay, so it's not
I'm
up.
gonna be nice. I'm gonna
You're
say
right.
she's glowing laterally.
Lateral glow.
I don't know if it's up. Up, I think is very strong to say.
Yes.
And I don't want to be a bitch and say, put the bow back.
I mean, I didn't like the bow.
Did you not? But it was like,
It's just
it was
stupid.
cute.
Infantile. Oh my god, that other clip was so funny. What was the okay? So Brandy Melville. I don't understand what's so bad about what they do.
I don't either. What? But here's the thing: there's stores like Lane Bryant that sell plus size clothing.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
And no one goes. They made their doors really wide, so skinny people would feel too small. And they only carry large through triple X.
Right.
This is not fair to the thin. No one says that because when you're catering to the other end, people are like, yes, queen, slay.
I agree. This is a private company. If they have a model that works for them, okay, then don't shop at. You know what? Don't shop at Brandy Melville. Then
It might not be for you.
may not be for you. Maybe not be your size, babe, and
But
that's
also,
okay.
Have you seen the clothes that they sell? They are for. It's a specific age. It's
But I
like
also
for
don't-
15 through 16 and a half.
And they
Like it's very niche.
so like 2 years.
So if you have your adult body, let's say you're 23 and way past their age range, then the skinny is like they don't want girls who have been through like too much of high school yet.
Right, just
You know?
enough, just enough.
Slip through with your weird half middle school body, and that's who we want. And
Okay.
then once you've reached a level of having any kind of boob that can
Stretch out the shirt.
stretch out the door frame, they're done with you.
I have never looked at like the thing about Abercrombie. Like, and I'm liking it because like a similar to the Abercrombie story, right?
Right.
They would sell. He didn't want. He said, I don't want fat people wearing my clothes. I think he said that. But his thing is, I want the cool kids to wear my clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I want this to be like the cool kids in school.
And doesn't every brand want that?
They success right, but his thing was like I want the like conventionally attractive people in high school. The problem is his gender discrimination or racial discrimination was like a little too much. I mean, I get if you want to like sell to like tall skinny models, but you don't have to like. You can include some people of color. You can include some,
He didn't want to not want to.
He wanted the country club, the conventionally quote unquote. I'm saying I'm not saying I find every color and race beautiful. I'm saying in his eyes the status quo white supremacy view of beauty. He wanted those people wearing the clothes. And when you went into Abercrombie, they would tell you not to talk to the people because it had to be like we're the cool kids and you want to
Yes.
attract us.
Okay, but
which I think
that
is a brilliant model.
It's
That I
actually
like.
such a good.
I like
plan.
that. I like that.
Everyone wants to be the hot kid.
I know, but
And dress like them.
right, but it is problematic to like racially discriminate against people. I mean, this is problematic.
Well, that's true. But also back in the day, being the hot kid, the hot girl, I don't want to say kid so much, was less diverse. So if you're like at that time, that was like kind of what like that's all you saw.
That's all you saw. But now they're getting. I mean, that's the only problem I had with Abercrombie. If they want to sell to thin people, then then they sell to them.
Do it.
Like I just think when I was watching the White Hot documentary, I'm like, yes, I think it's absolutely problematic to fire people because of their race or not hire people because of race. But to say we only want this size people to wear our clothes and there's 15,000. Go to Hot Topic.
And
go to
here's what you know-
Macy's, dude. That's like don't tell people how to. Like, don't tell people what kind of clothes they should be selling, you know?
Right, and complaining about that sounds very fat. It sounds very. There are so many. There are other
Stores.
brands, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So these people, by the way, Brandy Melville, like their clothes are so. Have you ever gone into the store?
I don't think their clothes look good.
Yeah,
I've seen them.
I know they're for teenagers,
but they're not like at least Abercrombie had like cool. It was really cool Abercrombie clothes.
Right.
It was really cool.
Well,
looking.
Brandy Melville is what's cool now, which is like intentionally. It's like intentional slob. That's what's kind of cool now. Like
not trying.
Yeah, like not trying, right? Like kind of loose things.
Yeah, and it seems like overpriced T-shirts that aren't that cute.
It is overpriced, but that's what I'm saying. There's another. So if you're upset that it's like a skinny people store, why? Why be upset? It's an overpriced, and it's for skinny people, so they're using less fabric,
Right.
And they charge so much. Aren't you like miss me with that?
Yeah, if they're making money, then shop somewhere else. I also don't think their clothes are like that. The thing about Abercrombie, though, the clothes were so freaking cute.
They're still good.
They're so cute. So
know.
to be of a certain person who wasn't feeling included in this brand, like it was like the cool kids were wearing Abercrombie. It was literally the cool kids wearing Abercrombie, and like to feel like you don't belong in that brand did feel like shit. It did feel like garbage.
No, 100%. Well, because I grew up. I mean, I've said this before, but like I was disgusting, and I had like acne and just it was so greasy and little, and I had this back brace, like a big back brace, all high school and whatever. And then the summer after I turned like 17 or 18, whatever, I worked at Abercrombie at the local mall. We made no money. Okay, you had to buy their clothes.
I know.
Which is like not. The laws around that were unclear. You had to buy, and then even if you didn't have to, you would have done it anyway. Because who works at Abercrombie except someone who just wants to spend all their money at Abercrombie? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not there because of the like amazing corporate opportunities. So nobody at that store had any money because we were all children, and everything that we made, we would just buy. We just buy stuff.
I don't think their clothes are cute enough for me to get upset about it, to be honest.
Brandy Melville.
Yeah.
No, you can have them.
Like, have them. Like, literally, if they were like, I don't know, Aritzia. Aritzia is like low-key for skinny people. Aritzia does not have a wide variety of sizes.
Not really. I would say most places are like that. Brandy Melville just had the balls, like the chutzpah, to be honest and make their doors really thin.
Yeah, it's like I really don't care, Brandy. If you're gonna do it to Nordstrom, though, I love Nordstrom or Nordstrom Rack, then I'd be upset. How Jewish am I? I'm like, don't do it to Nordstrom Rack.
Nordstrom Rack is a different BMI. Yeah. Brandy Melville is like, it's like a sad girl, clean girl, 90s girl aesthetic,
Yeah, which
I'm here for it, by the way.
If that's your thing. That's your thing. I just say then you use your power to not shop there.
100%.
That's what happened to Abercrombie. Their sales declined, and that's when they also got sued for racial discrimination because they were. I mean, I don't agree with the racial discrimination that Abercrombie did.
Yeah.
I think you could include different races in your beauty standards, but if they say, I don't want fat people wearing my clothes, like.
Well, you know what the other thing about Brandy Melville is? There's like a whole documentary about it, and they have like trendy clothes for the younger side. It's probably not people like in their late 20s or 30s shopping at Brandy Melville. It's like teenagers and like, Peter Pan personalities. But they would have people scouting the girls that shop there.
Oh, I think I heard that, yeah.
And then if they liked what somebody was wearing, they would offer to buy it off of them on the spot. And then they would have the design copied. And also they would hire those girls. They'd hire the girls and the girls that worked there, when they came in, they would have to have their picture taken and sent to like the owner.
Ooh.
I know.
Oh, now it's getting real rapey.
I know, and it's that's the thing. It's not the skinny thing. It's the
infantile infantilization of women. Yeah,
we get that everything is sexual, like everything just is. But to be so like with your employees, like we hired you to be sexual, is like.
Especially at that age.
And they're so young. So I had to take a full body shot, and they were wearing not cute clothes, they'd get fired. you imagine the pressure to always look good when you're doing your shitty retail job?
But that's how they fire. That's how they take a picture and send it to the CEO.
Who, and I guess they had he was rude about people like that. He was there to roast them. Like, to me, that's the problematic part, not the skinny part.
Oh, yeah, me too. I agree. And just the infantilization of young girls. Ooh. The sexualization of young girls.
Well, you know who else did that? Remember American Apparel?
Oh, yes.
That was their big thing. And everybody wanted to be an American Apparel girl because they had this thing on their website where you could just submit. Like, regular girls would be like, look at me. And, like, you'd pull a tank top down so it covered your nipples, but then everything else showed. You know, the aesthetic where it's like,
I love
girl next door, but hot. Slut.
But like natural, but
natural beauty. Yeah.
And it was all different races, by the way. It was very diverse, which I loved.
No, it was actually inclusive.
Very inclusive.
But it included sexual assault.
Right. Everyone was equally
was equally objectified and assaulted.
So we haven't really talked about the Quiet on Set documentary. Have you seen it, with the Nickelodeon Quiet on Set documentary?
I saw some of it.
Okay. I won't get into too much of it. I think you kind of know the story. The whole thing with Dan Schneider's obsession with feet. I used to babysit somebody because it's Victorious and the other show. I'm a little too old for those shows. I wasn't like Victorious
like
and
Sam and Cat.
Yeah, I didn't watch those. I'm a little too old for that. But I babysat, and I remember on Nickelodeon. I remember this. They said, "Send in your feet pictures, and we're gonna rate the craziest feet."
No, they said that to children
on the show. And I remember, I don't think at that time I really understood there's like sexualization. I knew there's like a foot. I didn't really understand. I just thought it was disgusting.
But isn't it like a joke when you're a kid where you're like, oh, feet. People are into feet, but you don't really know what that means.
Well, that's how I was like, why the hell would people like care about feet? That's disgusting. I didn't know back then. I heard of the thing called a foot fetish, but I didn't realize how like guys like really like sexualize feet. And so,
how can you even know what that is?
I know, but it's like, if you watch Quiet on Set, you go back to some of the episodes. He's literally obsessed with feet. Like, there's so many scenes of like girls sucking on their toes. Nickelodeon logo is a foot.
Oh yeah. This is the first time I've heard someone say that.
Yeah,
that's really not a coincidence. There's no such thing as a coincidence.
No, I mean, we were literally groomed in the 90s. Like, they're going back to the 90s, all this shit. And we're like, we were all groomed.
You're right. It was a foot.
And Amanda, you saw that the Amanda show. They had the character Penelope Taint. Did you see this part? There was a character in the Amanda show called Penelope Taint.
Oh.
And you don't know when you're little, but the taint is the part. And they're like, "What does a taint mean?" And he's like, "Oh, like she's tainted." But it was like,
oh yeah, I saw like a
taint.
Clip.
But it was a taint. It's between the grundle and the man's asshole.
Oh, I thought the grundle was the same as the taint.
Is that the same as what's the taint? It's where's our producer? Okay, it's between the penis and the
asshole.
Asshole. That's the taint.
Yeah, also known as the grundle.
Okay, so the taint is a grundle. Grundle is a taint. Okay, Finkel is Einhorn, and so, yeah. So that,
and you know what? That got everybody. Like, look at what happened to Amanda Bynes. Of course, has a face tattoo, so she gets it. I know she gets it the worst, but she's all lithiumed out or whatever they gave her. But then look at what happened to all of them. Jeanette McCurdy, who was. She was on Sam or Cat, one of them, yeah. Sam and Cat. She was either the Sam or the Cat.
And then she was also on two shows.
And then look at her. She like dropped out of Hollywood and wrote a book called "I'm Glad My Mom Is Dead." Yeah. Okay, because her mom was probably a bitch, but
no, beyond bitch. Do you want to know what her mom? It's beyond being a bitch. Her mom. Sorry, really quickly. I didn't mean to interrupt you. No. Really, really quickly. Her mom would not let her shower herself. What? Into her teenage. Her mom was like. They had like a severely codependent. It wasn't just like her mom like telling her she's fat or telling her she's like cut her hair. Her mom had this weird codependency with her where she didn't want her to grow up. So Jeanette McCurdy actually was in a car seat till she was like 13.
No, look at what happens to these kids. That is so also borderline sexual.
It was very sexual. And her mom, she would not let her brother and she shower by themselves till like they were all into their teenage years.
Did they have to shower with each other or her?
Her mom had to shower because she's like, Jeanette, I have to wash it. Because her mom was a hairdresser. So her mom knew how to wash her hair in a certain way that was like really shiny. And so her mom was like, no, Jeanette, I have to shower you because I like, and if they objected, her mom would just get so upset and sad that they were like, we don't want to upset our mom. So it was like a weird, it's like beyond like, it was like a weird codependent, like sexual abuse, but I don't think it was sexual. I think it was like her mom didn't want her kids to grow up.
But it is sexual.
It is.
It is. It just is that way. Whether it's sex or not, it's like it's
a codependency.
Past little kid age, that's inappropriate because it's sexual. It just is, whether you are like doing it to be that way or not.
And she would shower with her brother. It was like she didn't want. Well, I think it was like she didn't want her kids to grow up. She didn't like change. The mom didn't like change so much.
She was a power trip. You know, she's like Gypsy Rose's mom.
It's a very similar,
it's like
mentioned by proxy of like, you can't do this yourself. You can't. I don't know. You can't. I make your hair that shiny. And they loved their mom so much that they could see that she'd just go. She'd start crying if they were like. She'd be like, you guys are. So there's
poor kids.
This other story where her mom, she always liked, let's say she always liked Rocky Road ice cream, and her mom's like, you want ice cream? She's like, I want peanut butter. She's like, but you always like Rocky Road. She's like, you're changing. Why are you always changing? Her mom would just start crying. So it's like similar with the shower. It's like, why do you want to shower yourself? You don't need me anymore? Why don't you want to be in your car seat anymore? The mom was a Gypsy Rose type, like to your point of like.
And look what happens when you make your kid be like that, like infantilized. And they write a book called "Fuck You, I'm Glad You're Dead." And like, look at Amanda Bynes. Whatever happened to her was so bad. It was so fucked up. Whatever they did, like I know there's all the horrible rumors about what Dan Schneider did to her.
Or maybe other people on set. There was all these pedophiles on set.
100%. But no, like even if you don't know exactly what happened to her and you see the documentary, you just see her now, and you're like,
oh, that's the
saddest. They ruined her.
She was so pretty and she was so bubbly. How cute was she?
I mean, even look at the successes. The ones that like look at Ariana Grande, who was either the Sam or the Cat of Sam and Cat. She is successful and like she's still doing it. But look at her.
She's an asshole.
She's. I feel like it's not her fault because look, she had this fucked up, fully working career childhood. If you have a career when you're a kid,
I know the
then
pressure.
You're gonna get older and you're gonna do some weird shit because you've done it all. Like,
and you're probably, you know what I also think, because like, you know the Ariana Grande story too, right? How fucked up this story is. Why I don't like that girl at all. She was basically, I think she was on the Wicked. She was on a movie set of Wicked, and she fell in love with the Munchkin.
It was the play.
The play.
And they're still doing it, and they're still dating.
And this is a man that just had a baby.
Yeah,
that
with like
she
his high school
held.
sweetheart.
That she held. So she held this woman's baby, stole her husband. And by the way, you know why I don't. People, oh, well, maybe they're in love. No, that's bullshit. You're Ariana Grande. You can get any man you want. You took and I'm going to say you took him because who would say no to you, Ariana? Like, seriously. No, this story is absolutely fucking disgusting.
That guy's
this
such an asshole, too.
Yeah, he's an asshole. He's a piece of shit. But this woman just had a fucking baby, Ariana. And you are going to go for this man that the mom is just you. And people, I mean, I've never had a child, but from what I hear, your hormones are all sort of fucked up when you just have a kid.
And also, even if your hormones are completely normal, it's devastating. You don't need hormones to feel gutted that your husband left you for Ariana Grande.
And Ariana, you can get any man you want.
But that's what I'm saying. Look how they all went.
They numbed them.
They all went super fucked. That's actually super fucked up to do to somebody. And
So
you could say he's responsible, whatever.
I know,
Yes,
no.
100%. It's still a dick move. It's actually a crazy move.
Because he's ugly.
It's actually unhinged.
It's unhinged because he's
I know.
ugly.
And he's a husband. He's somebody's dad. Why not just? Even if you're gonna go there, why not just hook up with him and then release him back to his wife and kid?
I know.
Why that? You know what I mean?
I
like,
know.
What happened in your life? And then when you see, you're like, I mean,
You know
she's
what I
an
think?
adult and she's responsible, but I do kind of understand how she got so twisted up.
You know, I think it's, you know what I think with that story, what I think about, something also bad must have happened to her that made her so numb to like hurting someone's feelings.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Whatever the others got on the Dan Schneider universe,
Right.
she got. You think she escaped? You saw the clips of
of her being sexual with the
being
water.
sexual,
Yeah.
pouring water, not even to drink it. He's like, drink water upside down, but then she pours it all over like her. It's so grotesque.
And then so she probably just gets off on it. Like, I stole your, it's like, yeah, Ariana, you'll steal anyone's man. You're Ariana Grande. And that guy who's a 0, you think that guy was going to give up the chance with you.
Well, he has a British accent, so it makes him like a 2.
Okay. That guy would have never get. Of course, a guy that like I'm never gonna get Ariana Grande in the rest of my in any lifetime. I would never get.
He was so. It was so cosmic. He was so in the right place at the right time.
I know.
And the light hit the stage in a certain way, and it refracted
And
off.
she
of
probably
his
just
left
got
eye.
off on just like oh my. And then she held his baby. Ariana held this woman's baby. I think Ariana, and I'm sure she went through shit to do. You're right. To do something that fucked up, you're numb. You've numbed yourself because something happened to you. That's
Not only numb, but your idea of what's right and wrong is completely
and what you
twisted
get
up.
off on.
And yeah, because somebody got you see what the adults around you have gotten off on. Like honestly, how can you help it? I had such a normal when I was a kid. It was just so normal.
Yeah.
And I soaked up all the weird ideas. Like you don't even know what gets into you when you're a kid because it's just what's around you becomes who you are.
Yeah.
And then if you're around this super weird adult but kid like, they're working as doing adult jobs, working like 16-hour days.
Pressures of an adult.
But with the pressures of an adult, making money like an adult, doing some adult like
Making
things,
money for the family.
but making the shows. But the shows were for kids,
And they had to be kids.
and they had to be they're kids pretending to be adults, pretending to be kids.
But then they're
basically.
sexualized in this like weird off way that we all kind of feel it.
So how does that not totally destroy your soul? And then what do all those things have in common? The Jeanette McCurdy book, where like, fuck you, mom, you're dead. And then the Ariana Grande weird man stealing, more than man stealing, like that swooping in and like destroying something that somebody else had. And then what's the other one? And then Amanda Bynes dropping out the height of her career when she was so cool and so on. She's like, fuck it, I'm out. And with the face
Going
tattoo
nuts,
or whatever. But what is that? To me, that's just my opinion is people who had no control ever growing up, like were just pulled in a million different directions, exploited by everybody, producers, directors, their parents, like other people they've been in relationships with forever since they were a kid, and they want to control something.
That's right. Yeah. So they're going to control their sexuality this way by stealing someone when they're what's it called? Oh my God, what is it when you just have a baby? You're postpartum. When the woman is postpartum women, you talk to any postpartum woman, your hormones are already fucked up. I can't believe going through what that woman's going through postpartum with that fucking bitch.
so
She is
public.
such a fucking bitch, Ariana. I can't even. And then she's a feminist. And then she screams, "If God was a woman, if God was a woman, would she steal another woman's husband when they just had a fucking baby? You disgusting bitch!" Like I hate Ariana. I was like, and also the Olsen twins. They refused to when they had the Full House reunion. They wouldn't. They said, "We are so done with show business."
Good for them.
And these women,
I get it.
but it's the same thing of like fuck show business, dude.
And you know what? They're so private. They never really said anything. Like, I don't think it's possible that all these kids got fucked, like metaphorically, but also maybe not, doing these jobs, and then the Olsen twins somehow not. Like, I think every kid that's in show business
Oh, they talk about it.
gets it.
Well,
really?
they talk. Well, there was a time where it was okay for 40-year-old men to have a countdown of when they were going to turn 18, and I saw them on interviews. I saw the
remember that.
Olsen twins on interviews, and they were talking about how like 40-year-old men like follow us, and like these are like look like 12-year-old girls, and I can't imagine like these 40-year-old men like drooling over you, and everyone. It was normalized back then. It was so normal for these guys to go, Wilson just turning 18, and we all go. But then you look at it in hindsight, you go, that must have been really creepy for them.
Oh, 100%.
It's like, what do you guys mean when I turn 18? What are you going to do to me? You want me to
No, here's how crazy it was. My first boyfriend ever, who was a comedian, when he and I met, he was so funny and so talented, and he still is. But at the time, he was just working these like random writing jobs and doing spots and stuff. And one of his jobs, and this is why I ended up really liking him, because I read all of them, was he wrote for a website called, it was called Consumption Junction. It was like one of those kind of, it was like an adulty kind of website. It's not like really porn, but it's like, he wrote Mary-Kate and Ashley fan fiction. Like, and it was all about like them getting railed. It was crazy. They were already past 18 at that point, or like in their early 20s. But yeah, that was his whole job. And I read them and I was like, these stories are kind of good.
Well, they had this roast. I think they roasted Danny Tanner. they roasted one of the older men from the show, and they go, and you had, and the punchline was like, and then you fucked one of the Olsen twins, like, and these girls were not 18 yet when these jokes are coming out, and I could just imagine being.
They weren't 18?
No, I think it was a Jeff. I'll have to look back for the clip, but it's like
That's uncomfortable.
they were doing one of those Comedy Central roasts.
Yeah,
and maybe Bob Saget was on the roast or something. You know how like people roast each other on the dais, and one of the jokes was something, and which Olsen twin that you were gonna fuck, and it was because they did. I saw a whole documentary on them and about like them growing up in the public eye and how they like want nothing to do with show business. The Full House reunion, they're like, no, what we don't want anything to do with this bullshit. And then and how like just and then talking about Oprah, how like we have like 40-year-old like, and they don't look like happy about it. They're like, we have like 40-year-old men like chasing like.
And then look at who they ended up, or at least the one ended up with.
Like the old man.
Old, which, fine, listen, I'm here for it, and you like what you like, but is it a coincidence that she literally married a daddy when she was young?
Yeah.
Like, wasn't she in her 20s? And
Yeah.
this guy was like 30 years older than her? Because like she actually ran into the arms of one of the guys that wrote her fan fiction.
Yeah. So the point is we should use AI for child stars. That's the point of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Stop using actual children and stop using actual animals. Just use AI.
It's abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The AI child, there should be no more child actors, just AI children.
Is that problematic? Like
No.
if you cast like a non-little person to play a little person in Snow White?
Well,
is that taking away
no,
opportunities
I don't mean
from children?
I don't mean stature. I mean like AI, like
No, I
making
know,
make an AI of like a young person, and that solves our problem. The children's the laws against child labor. They can work as many hours as want. AI. There's no laws against AI working a lot of hours, and and if you're gonna like sexually assault the AI, like I don't know if AI people have rights, and maybe let these guys fuck the AI. Like maybe let these guys. On these pedophiles on set, maybe get them out.
Oh, that's a hot take.
maybe that solves it. You know?
Yeah. Well, you can probably control the problem by just giving them AI. Have this AI. We're just throwing you an AI.
Some people argue that give pedophiles like a sex doll. Like let them get it out.
Some people do say that, but some people are like, isn't that like crazy enabling?
I don't know.
Isn't
I don't
that
know.
like being on methadone when you want to get off of heroin, and it's like now you're
I don't
addicted
know.
to methadone?
I'm not. I haven't done the studies of if you let them fuck. Like if they have this urge to give them a life size. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a therapist or a doctor that can like say whether that's okay or not.
I mean, and
a professional.
I have no opinion on it.
No, I have no opinion
whether
on
it's
it.
right or wrong. Who can say? Not me.
Because I mean I do understand what you're saying. It's like eventually they're gonna want the real thing.
Is it not going to like a gateway drug?
Yeah. They need to like invent a pill that makes you like find young kids repulsive. It's called being a normal person.
Yeah, well, they do have that. Now they give it to trans kids so that they never have to hit puberty. That's neither here nor there. That's
Okay,
neither
we'll
here
move
nor
on.
there.
Okay.
I think we said a lot about said a lot about pedophiles today.
And don't. There is never the only child actor that turned out okay was Jesse Eisenberg. What child actor has turned out okay? Shirley Temple turned out okay. She actually did a great. She was ambassador for the UN. Like Shirley Temple, I think, is the only child star that turned out really productive.
What about the ones that kind of had a moment, but then what about Miley Cyrus? Is she like so far gone? I feel like she kind of became
I mean, she
pretty
rebranded.
normal.
Yeah, she rebranded as kind of like a punk. Yeah.
And now she rebranded as a woman. She's like, I'm a woman. I'm not like a girl that dances with.
But she never went like unhinged. She never went like.
No, she never went unhinged.
Unhinged, like out of control, like needs to get 5150 or anything.
Yeah, but is she normal? Like
she's a brand. Her brand is crazy. Her brand is. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that's on purpose, or she really is like wrecking ball. I don't know.
What's her true self? Is it?
I think Shirley Temple's the only successful child actress in history.
You mean who didn't become fucked up as an adult?
And like a seriously famous child actress. And she was like the child actress.
What about Brooke Shields?
Yeah, considering all Brooke Shields went through, she
There's
should
a movie about it.
She literally seems so normal at the end. Like she's not like she has two cute kids. She has a family. They ask her about the pedophilia. She's like, it was art. She really is not.
Yeah, she really didn't hold on to it.
She kind of just like moved on. So I think maybe Brooke Shields didn't turn out that bad considering what Brooke Shields went through. You'd think she'd be more fucked up.
No, you would think that, but I think it's probability. It's like a likelihood. If you
Right.
put your kid through that, are they going to be the most fucked up person? Maybe not, but are they going to come out totally normal?
There's gonna be trauma.
Probably not.
Yeah, but you'd rather someone have trauma with $1 billion than.
She's a
A rich
child
tr-
star, but she's also a billionaire. So she's like a 10.
Right, but not everyone is as emotionally adjusted as Brooke Shields.
Who somehow managed to be emotionally adjusted.
It's a
She
it's
was
who
famous
she is.
from baby
People sexualized
to
her.
adult to now.
Yeah. I don't know.
However that happened.
How it happened, and good for her, and but my heart goes out to Brittany and Amanda, and I'm here. I'll be your friend. I love you guys.
Be your best friends.
I really want to save these two girls.
Me too. And if they wanted to do our podcast, that would be fine with me.
Can I say one thing I noticed about all these the child stars that really went, like Amanda Bynes, Justin Bieber, Britney Spears? They're all really nice people. No one has anything bad to say about Britney that's worked with her. Actually, people have excellent things to say about how nice she was. Tara Manning on the set of Crossroads said that Britney was just the nicest. She was like assertive and like had great ideas, but she was never rude to anybody. Always so nice. Amanda Bynes, no one has anything bad to say about her as a person being a bad.
I feel like that's not true about Justin Bieber.
I have never heard anyone say he's a dick. Maybe Selena Gomez. All I know is when I see Justin Bieber on interviews, he just seems like such a nice person. He just seems like such a gracious, nice person that people shit on him. But I'm like, that kid seems like he's so polite and sweet. I think you can't be, if you're going to be a kid in Hollywood, you have to be an ass. They won't come after you if you're an asshole.
But haven't you ever seen the videos of him and Haley, like when he's getting out of a car and he like slams the door before she can get out?
That's after we went. That's after the whole thing. Because I think
After what whole thing?
that's after he went crazy. Because there's these weird things with Haley and Justin. I don't know if you read about them, that like it's arranged. Like he didn't pick to marry her. Like
Arranged by who? The puppet holders.
The handlers. Like there's rumors that she's his handler.
Huh.
And that
Have you seen the before and after they got married? Like before when she's so loving and attentive to him and he's like so aloof and he needs all of this like mommying from her, and then after they get married and he's trying to, like be sweet to her in public and she's just not having it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a rumor that's they're put together by their handlers, that they put her there because he says things like, well, we were arranged, or like something like weird. And
Does he mean by God?
Maybe, I don't know, but he's getting 5150. He signed with Lou Taylor, who famously, she's the manager that conserved Britney, who brought the conservatorship idea to Britney's family.
Wait, what's his relationship?
So Lou Taylor is the business manager.
Justin Bieber's business manager.
Yes, she was also Britney Spears' business manager.
And she made the conservatorship happen.
She gave them the idea of the conservatorship, and
So you think Justin's going to be conserved?
I think, yeah, and he's like going. They say, oh, he's had diseases and great. This woman, Lou Taylor, is a predator. She preys on people that have a little bit of issues, and she goes to the family and she's like, you know what we should do? We should conserve them.
She just finds anybody who's ever been to Diddy's house.
She's
like, I can help you.
Yeah, and then give me 20%
right
of the conservatorship.
Because Justin got diddied.
Yeah, but keep him working.
Right.
Keep them working. Oh, should they stop working?
evil.
No.
You know what? There's someday Justin's gonna have a residency in Las Vegas, and all this shit's gonna come out. He's gonna be full Britney, and we're gonna learn what actually happened.
Do you know that on Britney's Instagram, you know how she puts like little clues? She will like post about Justin Bieber. And it's like, what's that? I think it's because she's giving a sign like he just signed with Lou Taylor, and that bitch is gonna steal his money. She's a very godly woman, Lou, and so she went to the Spears family. She's like, Jesus just told me that like Britney needs our conservatorship.
That's what she said?
Yeah, she's like, does she need to rest? No, she needs to work.
What a predator.
She tried, and Courtney Love said that Lou Taylor tried to conserve her, and Lindsay Lohan, she tried to conserve Lindsay Lohan as well, but Lindsay Lohan's family were like, no.
Lindsay Lohan maybe could have used a conservatorship.
She could have, but she's doing great now.
She's doing okay now.
She left Hollywood. She went to Iran or Iraq or Saudi Arabia.
Saudi
Arabia. She has a husband.
Right?
Yeah, but she's doing great. She left Hollywood. She left Hollywood and now she got married. She seems.
That's how you do it. That's how you make an exit. You have this career so that you're kind of a trophy.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're a high profile criminal and you go to prison, then you're probably gonna get stabbed because you're like a trophy.
Yeah,
for them.
yeah.
It's like if you're a high profile woman who's been in movies or whatever, and then you step back, you're like a trophy for like someone who's not in Hollywood but that can give you a nice life.
Right.
So you don't have to do that work anymore.
Right, exactly.
It's like being in Hollywood's like being a hooker. You're being paid to like kind of be to dangle your meat in front of people.
Right.
And then when you get out of it, but now like that Saudi prince or whoever she's with, that Saudi billionaire, like that works for both of them. She got a guy that can obviously she's set for life, and then he has like he has a prize. Yeah, it's like, look, she's from Mean Girls.
Yeah, I got an actor. I got the Lindsay Lohan. Yeah. And I don't know. She seems like she's normal. Like I think the key is that Hollywood makes you crazy.
Yeah, and Hollywood makes you crazy, but it makes you attractive to Saudi princes. You know, Rihanna also is dating like a Saudi prince or like a Saudi billionaire. You know?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think it's like an American actress, like an American superstar is like it's like a lion for them.
Yeah.
You know, they have like lions and bears and stuff as pets, like the super rich over there, because like they're just collecting living beings. Yeah. And then they collect an actress too.
I mean, good for her.
No judgment from me.
No, but she got out of Hollywood and she avoided the Lou Taylor conservatorship. And her parents also didn't fall for the bullshit. So
her parents are a hot mess.
They are. And you'd think they'd be like, oh, fuck yeah, we'll make her work and we'll all become billionaires.
Her dad married Kate Major. She was like a tabloid person.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Married her. They're both like so messy. And the mom was like a momager.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when she tried to make her sister have a singing career? And the sister was like, I don't want it.
Yeah. But even they weren't falling for Lou Taylor's crap.
Good for them.
The Spearses were like, oh, we can become billionaire. We'll keep her working.
They are just...
They're naive, greedy, uneducated assholes. But anyway.
They're a disaster. This was such a rabbit hole. This was such a good... We solved Hollywood.
Yeah.
We solved Olsen twins. We figured out Bieber. What else did we accomplish?
We went down the road. Any TikTok conspiracy that you have a question about, I just gave you a summary because I love all of them. I love the rabbit hole of these things. Dark Hollywood, I find very fascinating how Hollywood works. It basically is if you start making money for people, there are people that will make sure you will never stop working. And if you don't do what they say, they'll say, but you're crazy. And then everyone thinks, oh, but they're going crazy. No. They wanted to stop working and
You're not a person anymore. You're a thing.
Oh, yeah. Because when Britney Spears or Beyonce or any of these people stop working, 100 families stop eating.
Yeah, maybe more.
Yeah. Beyonce's a whole economy. So if she ever quit the business, there's an economy that would fall.
Yeah. Also, she knows too much.
Yeah, and I think Beyonce likes it. I don't think but Britney, I think, wanted to quit and wanted to go back to Louisiana. And she was and then they were like, no, babe, you're not, you're going to quit? You're making too much money for us, hon. Like, you're going to keep working.
I know. And look, and now she never wants to work again.
No,
so
she's like,
is that worth it? Probably maybe
And the Olsen
not.
twins, too. They're like, fuck Hollywood. Fuck this shit.
But they are still working.
They have like a clothing
fashion thing.
Oh, you're right. She's like, Brittany says, I'd rather shit in a pool than be in the entertainment industry.
She did. Well, she said she would ghostwrite music for people. She was like, I'm just gonna ghostwrite.
Yeah.
Good, do it. I didn't even know she wrote.
I don't think she. She also must make so much money from her
residuals and everything.
No, but from Instagram.
Oh,
all the people. She gets millions upon millions of views on Instagram. Yeah. Instagram must pay her money too.
I guess. Does she?
I mean, she is. I mean, I don't want to look at how many views she has on Reels.
I know, but is that how it works? Does Instagram pay you for views?
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. You get paid for views. And
she's making something.
She must make $1 million if she posts something on Instagram just from Reels, I would think. Like, because...
I have to look that up.
Yeah, I think so.
Good for her. She's gonna be fine forever.
She can put
maybe not spiritually, but financially, she's gonna be fine.
She can put she lost millions and millions from this. They fucking robbed her. This is. I'm so sorry. It is because I find this the saddest Hollywood story I've ever heard in my fucking life. Diana was sad. Marilyn Monroe was sad. The Britney story is the saddest thing I've read in my life. What a I'm sorry. I can go down this forever.
But. I know, but she's like our mascot. So I want to see what she's like in 10 years and 20 years. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Does that ever just even out? Or then does it just for the rest of your life, that's just your burden?
I think she has a lot of fucking trauma. And I don't blame her. She has a reason to have so much. I mean, her family.
Didn't she get Schneidered or no?
No, I don't think she was ever like sexually molested. I think Justin this Justin Timberlake story about her, right? And he like made her get an abortion.
I know.
And
then she's like a good Christian girl.
Oh, and she loved Justin so much. Like, and it's like, oh, even when Britney Spears is the hottest woman in the world, even she isn't immune to fuckboys. Even she gets fucked over.
She just gets another level of fuckboy.
She's getting fucked over by Justin Timberlake. Yeah, we're getting a little lower, but exactly. But she was the hottest woman in the fucking world, and he treated her like garbage, and he cheated on her and made her get an abortion. He made so much money off of her. The press started to turn on her when
He would not even have a career if he hadn't dated her. I really think he would have had a career because he had a career and that's how they met. But he wouldn't be Justin Timberlake
Right, I agree.
without Britney Spears.
Right.
No way.
He capitalized off of her pain and didn't tell the whole story about how he used to cheat on her all the time. And
No,
she's
he wrote the song "Cry Me a River" is about her.
Oh, I know, yeah.
cheating on him and how it made him cry.
Right.
and people were like, "Fuck her."
Yeah, that's when everyone turned on her.
Yeah.
But but the real story, and she said she didn't think anybody would believe her. The real story is he would cheat on her all the time. She kissed her dancer once and told him. He made her get a full.
She's so pure.
I'm telling you, I've gone through the rabbit hole. Everyone says the nicest things about Britney. I think if she was a bitch, it would come out that, oh yeah, I worked with her. She's a fucking cunt. She was a diva. Everybody who ever worked with her said she was the nicest person, so sweet, down to earth, polite.
Is that so heartbreaking? But that also is such a childlike quality.
Yes.
Where to be that sweet and that nice. No, I'm not saying she's not sweet and nice, but I think that's also part of that child.
Yeah.
You know, that like didn't get to grow up.
Yeah, right.
Where,
Didn't
like,
have the
you're-
boundaries, didn't have to say no.
You're
Yeah.
just such a sweet, like a little girl. It's
Yeah.
like a sweet pleaser.
Pleaser. She was a people pleaser. And she didn't was afraid. She's like, I was always afraid to tell my story because I thought like everyone would hate because everyone loved Justin. And then,
But that is exactly what happened.
yeah,
She wasn't wrong.
She wasn't
Everyone
wrong.
took everybody else's side, but then times changed or whatever. And listen, Ben Shapiro always says
the truth comes.
the truth always wins.
I know.
Yeah.
But the saddest part is how her family just took. She had to work 7 days a week, and she said she had 101 fever, and they still made her work. And they all
Poor
were taking money,
baby.
and she had to call them if she went to Starbucks. Like the whole story is, I don't know. I just have a special place for Britney.
Yeah, me too. I know she's like a millennial mascot.
Millennial mascot,
I
and you're
know.
just like, and I see she's in so much pain. She's just.
It's traumatizing for everybody else to see somebody who's such a public broken person.
I know. And then whenever they would interview her, they'd ask her, "Would you see yourself in 5 years?" She always said, "I want to be a mom." Every interview, she never said, "I want to be famous." Her dream, she's always wanted to be a mom. And when she was under the conservatorship, they weaponized her children against her. So they'd be
And
like,
they made her have an IUD.
IUD, and they said, if you don't do this, we're going to take your. So she went along with the conservatorship for so long because she was scared they'd take her kids away from her. And guess what happened? Her kids ended up hating her.
Yeah.
And it's like, I hope one day they understand like the pain, like what,
To be fair, they're kids, and then eventually they're gonna grow up and
Hopefully.
have their own kids, and they're gonna maybe understand what their mom felt for them or whatever.
Yeah.
Even though I get it though, they're teenage boys, and their mom's like stripping on the
I
internet,
know.
which is her right, and I'm pro Britney forever.
Yeah.
But
I can
yes,
understand
when
you're
you're a teenage
17.
boy, that's
I
so
understand.
embarrassing. They must be like, "Mom, stop," and then
Yeah.
she won't, and then they're like, "Well, she does," You're
Yeah,
embarrassing.
I
me.
agree with that. I agree. I think at a certain point you go, okay, but you have teenage sons that like literally like you're stripped. I understand that. I can agree with that. Like kind of like mom.
But again, she's like a child. She's like a forever teenager.
Now, yeah, right.
She
Because
is
she's rebelling.
because remember when you first, I don't know, remember when you first are on social media or whatever, and you want everyone to think how you're so hot and so cool. I mean, like I'm still obsessed with that, but it's not like I think I used to post stuff that was more like now I'm more conservative, I guess, because I'm just a little, like older and I don't want to be so fleshy.
And you've done
in public.
it. Been there, done that.
Yeah, but and to me, I'm just it's off-putting, right? Because I'm like I'm not a kid. But then for someone who's always a kid, who's never not a kid, of course she's gonna be in a bikini on the internet.
But I also think it's a fuck you to her, to everybody. Like I think it's a rebellion, her dancing
For
too.
sure, it's like fuck you. I'm not the good girl.
And I'm gonna do
whatever
whatever the fuck I
wanna be.
want. I'm gonna put this bikini on because you know what? She wrote that. She goes, you know why I do these things? Because I fucking want to. And I'm not working for anybody. And I made you all fuckers billions of dollars. Her family is a group of fucking losers. They're losers. They stole her money and they're broke now. Her mom had to go back to substitute teaching. How the fuck do you steal millions of dollars and you're broke? What an idiot.
Yeah.
You're all talentless assholes. And like, I'd be pissed if I worked that hard.
No, they really rode the wave. They rode the Britney wave so hard. It's like, and look at like Beyonce's entire family. It's just not just an ecosystem. Your whole family.
Yeah, you're feeding
It trickled
everybody.
onto everybody. So,
And
of course, I feel like maybe we'll see Britney in like 20 years be at her, like it'll be her like 30. You know, her at 30 will be her at 50. You know what I mean?
Maybe like she'll have some like like a come to Jesus moment or something.
Maybe
like,
she'll just grow up, but on a totally different
I
timeline.
know. Yeah, and I hope I don't know how you heal from all that. She's a lot to process. I would give the L, but she has the money to process.
She's gonna be fine. I know. I feel like you don't have real problems if you're hot and you're rich.
And you also like don't have to like go to work with that trauma. It's
You're
not
gonna
like
be fine.
Right, it's not like you have that trauma and you're like, but I also have to go to my 9 to 5, so I have to smoke this cigarette because I can't like
Just to get through it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like you could lay by your pool, go to equine therapy, like
Throw clay.
all day you could just heal
All you have to do now is heal.
and just lay by your pool and
What
like
an amazing your healing pool.
yeah.
And dance in your special healing bikini.
Get the best shaman, get the best Reiki healer, get the best ayahuasca. Like, just you can get the best of the best, and you can do it now. You don't have to take the lithium they made you take.
You don't have to. I mean, you should. I feel so bad for the ones that are lithiumed out. You know,
You're not there anymore. Your brain, it fries your brain. It just
Yeah.
you're not the same person, and you just
that's sad. It's sad, but I think this nothing new. I think it's just that we get to see it now.
Yeah, that's right.
Because there's social
media. That's
and-
right, and
and
we all love
that.
a deep dive.
We love a rabbit hole, but I feel like this always was, and you know, in the past it became legend. Like if you were fucked up, like Marilyn Monroe's a legend. She
Yeah.
was a fucked up hot person.
Yeah.
And now the whole behind the scenes is on social media, so it's not legendary anymore.
Right, 'cause they're
because
so
we
live,
saw
yeah.
the whole process.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it breaks the fourth wall. Like if we can see how crazy you are, and it's not this big mystery, and we don't have to just hear it from other famous people, then it's it's more cheap now.
Yeah, but damn, the 90s between P. Diddy and Britney Spears and Amanda Bynes, and we were just getting groomed. Women, I don't know if it's like still as bad now. We don't know it. I don't know what it's like now in Hollywood, but
No way it's not the same. No way. If it ain't broke, I'm not saying it's a good system morally, but it made people money.
Yeah.
So if that made people money, they're gonna find a way to keep doing that
yeah,
forever.
yeah.
You know, they're just gonna it can't be as overt as like Ariana suck your toes on TV, but it's gonna be something. Of course it is.
Wow, the 90s. We thought it was great, and
We thought we were
being
hot shit.
we were being groomed to be okay with pedophilia. Like we were like be comfortable. I would talk about the Never Been Kissed movie on Jim and Sam, and like you watch it now, you're like, the teacher was in love with Drew Barrymore. I don't
Right.
remember this.
She was a minor.
And he loved her, and then she comes out and says, "I'm actually not 16," and he's mad at her.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you lied to me. I thought you were 16.
It ruined his whole day.
did-
That his crush is an adult.
But you're like, dude, that should have made, like, you should be like, oh, good, I can, like,
He said, "You lied to me."
yes. I thought you were 16. And then remember her brother also went to the school, and he ends up pretending, like, he also went to high school to like make her cool. Remember this? He's like, only needs one person to make you cool. I'm going to go to the school, be cool. And then he dated a high school girl, like a really hot high school. And we all were just like, yeah, this is
No,
like
we were fine with
so
it.
normal. Like
We
this.
were more than fine with it. We thought we wanted to throw them a party.
Yeah.
We were like, you guys are heroes.
Yeah. Thank you for making, yeah. Like,
Thank you for showing us.
you went to see what high schoolers were like.
Right. Well, you know when people like, if I knew then what I knew now, they don't
Yeah.
mean literally if I was 35 in high school, because that would be a felony.
Yes, literally.
It's just knowledge.
I know, right?
You're not
then-
supposed to go back.
like literally a felony. And then like her first day, she meets a guy, and she's like, he's so dreamy. It's like, Drew, the guy is 70. Like,
I know. But on one hand though, it's a powerful commentary about how being not hot in high school can fuck you up for the rest of your life and make you low-key attracted to the hot kid in high school, which is not okay. Look at all of these hot female teachers now that are getting arrested. There's been like 5 in the last week.
Oh, really?
They're getting arrested for hooking up with kids, and they were caught red-handed. It's like text messages. A couple of them were caught by like their husbands being in the car with somebody or whatever. Sometimes the parents find out. Those teachers,
we're not cool in high school.
well, they also grew up on Never Been Kissed. And Nickelodeon.
You're blaming. Did they watch the? Yes. Blame Drew Barrymore, please. This is her fault. She normalized teachers like falling, like, it's almost like mean that you lie about being 16, you know, like being 30.
Well, it's crazy. Like, we planted the seeds back then. Are we shocked that it's happening now? Of course, these teachers who grew up on that think that that's okay.
Literally, it's not our fault.
They're like, well, I'm back in high school and I wasn't cool then, so
I'm a journalist.
I'm an award-winning journalist.
Yes, they've assigned me at the Arizona Sun, to go into these schools and like write about what's being in high school like.
I'm an investigative journalist.
Right, you can't like ask a high schooler.
No,
you have
they're
to
not. They're a child. They don't
no,
know.
you have to ask the person in their 20s to go back.
I'm a professional.
You can't ask the actual high schooler. They're not going to tell you the truth.
Oh my God.
You know, so anyway, the 90s, I think we're finding out now the 90s were grooming us to be okay with pedophilia and little like messages of like.
We were extremely groomed. And it's going to take another generation to undo it, because now those 90 kids are parents.
I know.
And teachers. So we're going to have to it's going to be another, it's going to be a generation seeing that generation get arrested. It's going to be like, that was bad.
They should ban Never Been. I'm not kidding. I think they should ban that movie.
I agree.
It's like
it should be illegal to own it.
Yeah. It's just like, what the fuck?
I know.
What a crazy idea.
No, it's grooming material.
Literally, we're being groomed between Diddy and this and that. You know, anyway, the 90s were... Okay, I think I'm done. I think
that was a mess.
I got exhausted.
Yeah, I know. I talked myself out. Well, that was really, first of all, we're basically journalists, because that was really deep.
Every TikTok dive I've ever been on, you're welcome.
I feel like I qualify. I feel like I should get an honorary degree from NYU for this.
Yes, I think so too.
All right. Well, good job.
Love you
this was
guys.
such a fun show. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.